Netflix's Depp v. Heard documentary, director should be banned from film industry. It's rare for a reporter to have a precursor to an article they write. However, in my review of the Depp v. Heard documentary, my thoughts are clear from the start. Emma Cooper, the director, should never be allowed near a film set again. Her completely skewed woman or victim's agenda makes sure she leaves out most of the hard evidence shared in court of Amber Heard v. Johnny Depp case. In reality, Heard was convicted and caught out lying even under oath. She violently assaulted her husband many times, lied about charity donations, shit in a bed for fun, and verbally and physically assaulted her husband for over 12 months. Netflix needs to stop peddling trash and saying victim feminist groups as perfect while any man, even if proven innocent, is the issue. The poorly made Emma Cooper-directed Netflix documentary sets the tone by establishing that there was a huge media circus surrounding this case, which initially began with social media commentators looking to gain proximity to the court proceedings. While undoubtedly there were countless social media figures and fans looking for the inside scoop, there's an unmistakable slant presented here. Johnny Depp's supporters and fans were callous opportunists desperate for clicks and revenue. It couldn't possibly be that supporters who have spent years overlooking the overwhelming evidence in Depp's favor were eagerly awaiting his opportunity to speak his side of the story. No way, Jose, these are just money-hungry, attention-starved people treating a serious case as entertainment. Depp supporters as opportunists rather than truth-seekers. The documentary splices in clips of one such commentator openly in support of Depp, known as Darth News, who wears a Deadpool costume in all of his videos as he provides updates on the trial, to establish that Depp fans weren't treating the case with the utmost seriousness it deserved. Don't they know this is serious? Don't they know you can't make light of a situation when our side is losing? That's essentially what this entire documentary is. A giant woe-is-me sob story about how the public was too hard on Amber Heard for no apparent reason, certainly not because the overwhelming evidence presented, as well as that evidence not presented but publicly available online, did not support her account of events but was in direct contradiction to them. These people are painted as tone-deaf misogynist villains rather than reasonable spectators weighing up and interpreting the evidence as it's presented. Heard did not present a believable story, nor did she have any evidence to back up her claims. We see clips from genuine legal experts such as Christopher Melcher, Andrea Burkhart, Emily D. Baker, and Rikita Law, just to name a few, carefully intermixed within the silliness taking place on TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. That's no accident. They want you to believe that the opinions of actively practicing defense attorneys and prosecutors with trial experience on the evidence, court proceedings, and strategies are on par with random fans and TikTokers. The relentless white knighting for Amber Heard. The documentary repeatedly tries to make excuses for Heard's biggest blunders throughout the trial. Milani Cosmetics, the company that made the compact kit Heard's lawyer insisted she kept in her purse at all times to cover up her various injuries, made a statement that the compact kit was not even released until Heard and Depp's relationship was over. Kat Tenbarge, an avid and vocal supporter of Amber Heard who has written countless op-eds disparaging Depp supporters, insists that this was merely an example of a kit she would use, but not the literal makeup kit. How convenient! The bias only ramps up from there, throwing shade at a Depp supporter who tried to submit this evidence from Milani Cosmetics to Depp's team in the hopes they could use it in their case. The documentary implies that Depp supporters were interfering with the legal process. Of course, there's not even a peep about Heard's best friend, Eve Barlow, who was literally kicked out of the courtroom for violating the rules by texting during court sessions and allegedly trying to give information to Heard's lawyers. Even the most disastrous of Heard's blunders were excused by Cooper and her filmmakers. Even the most disastrous of Heard's blunders were excused by Cooper and her filmmakers, who edited in clips and tweets white knighting for Heard, insisting that pledge and donate are regularly used synonymously. They aren't. When celebrities pledge a donation, they tend to, actually pay them, especially within the 6 years they've been claiming they donated the full amount. Clips taken out of context to fit their narrative. The infamous TMZ video recorded by Heard of Depp losing his cool, slamming a bunch of cabinets, and breaking some glasses is immediately followed up with out-of-context clips from renowned celebrity divorce attorney Christopher Melcher. Melcher says, "When somebody breaks something in anger in your presence, that is legally an act of abuse." Depp v. Heard repeatedly inserts clips of Melcher speaking about this case, which gives off a very different impression of his opinions from what he has publicly stated. In another instance, they clip him saying, he's won already in the court of opinion, and he needed the court process to clear his name. The thing about justice is it's not about the truth, it's not about right or wrong, it's about what the judge or jury believes. Melcher, who was initially skeptical of Depp but became more sympathetic to his case as the evidence rolled out, has maintained a fair and balanced commentary on the trial but has in no way been an Amber Heard apologist. In a Twitter thread about the documentary, a user informs him that they repeatedly take clips of his commentary out of context to fit their pro-Heard slant. Melcher responds, "Thank you for summarizing the documentary. I haven't watched it because I don't want to give them a view. Maybe I will have to watch this after all." He also adds, "Thank you for saving me an hour of my life so I don't have to watch the Amber Heard special. I've been watching the Marvel movies, in order, with my kid. I'd rather do that." Depp supporters are out for money, unlike us. The amount of moral grandstanding in this documentary is just astonishing. Heard can do no wrong, while Depp and his supporters can do no right. Heard is caught in a lie? We can explain that away with some convoluted answer that doesn't even track. Heard never presented any evidence to back up her claims? That's just because her most exculpatory evidence wasn't admissible, or it was because of edited TikToks. The court case is being televised? You need to sit back and let the experts tell you what to believe and think. You plebeians simply lack the necessary judgment needed to discern the truth. The pearl-clutching by this documentary at the notion of gaining viewership and money from the back of a serious legal dispute is just shameless. But wait, these commentators and TikTokers and lawyers are earning clicks and followers and money from covering the trial. The pearl-clutching by the news media and this documentary film crew at the notion of gaining viewership and money from the back of a serious legal dispute is just shameless. Yes, social media figures tend to monetize their videos when they have a following, especially if that's their full-time job. I suppose Cooper and the rest of the media covering the trial stand to make nothing from this? I'm sure they're making nothing from this Netflix series. I'm sure if Cooper receives a check, she'll burn it. Depp v. Heard has an excuse for everything. Depp v. Heard implies that a big reason Heard lost was because of these conveniently exculpatory texts and evidence that were, for whatever reason, never admitted. One such example alluded to in the documentary is the Stephen Deuter's texts, where Depp's assistant supposedly texts Heard, "When I told him that he kicked you, he cried." The documentary makes it seem like these texts would have validated Heard's entire version of events of the Boston plane incident, where she claims Depp attacked her. However, Stephen Deuters is on record stating that these texts were heavily doctored and that he never witnessed any physical abuse between the two of them. Emily D. Baker brings up a motion from Depp's team stating Depp was unable to recover the texts produced by Heard relating to the Boston plane incident and that Heard's texts are strangely in a different format than all the other texts she produced and that the veracity of these text messages is critical and subject to serious question. Closing thoughts. It's disgusting to think Netflix would choose a hardcore feminist in Emma Cooper and her feminist producers to retell a true account of a man experiencing his own form of metoo. If you are looking for an unbiased documentary with facts, it's a hard pass.